I would like to begin by briefly going over the history of the franchise. This series is near and dear to my heart, and it's so hard to believe it's been so long since it was introduced into the world. Spice and Wolf is a Japanese light novel series written by Isuna Hasekura, illustrated by Ju Ayakura. It debuted in February 2006 and has expanded to 24 volumes, published by ASCII Media Works. A spin-off series, Wolf and Parchment, began in September 2016 and has 9 volumes to date. The manga adaptation by Keito Kome started in November 2007. The story was adapted into a 12-episode anime series that aired from January to March 2008, followed by an OVA in May of the same year. The second season of the anime premiered in April 2009, which aired 12 episodes from July to September. 2 visual novels for the Nintendo DS were released in 2008 and 2009. Recently, a new anime series adaptation premiered in April 2024. The series follows Kraft Lawrence, a 25-year-old traveling merchant who meets Holo, a 600-year-old wolf deity in the form of a young woman with wolf ears and a tail. Holo, once the harvest goddess of the town of Pasloe, feels neglected as villagers shift to modern agriculture. She wishes to return to her homeland, Yoitsu, and partners with Lawrence, offering her wisdom in his business ventures while facing threats from the church due to her divine nature. The series has sold over 5 million copies by 2020 and received praise for its unique blend of economics and fantasy. The main female protagonist of the series has a complex personality that combines ancient wisdom with youthful curiosity, making her a compelling character. As a wolf deity from the town of Yoitsu, Holo has lived for centuries, gaining a deep understanding of human nature, economics, and the evolving world. Okay, fair warning here. So, I will be pronouncing her name differently, like, basically every time I mention it. And so, I have a habit of pronouncing it the way I feel most comfortable with at that moment. This process is basically unconscious. So, just a heads up. Now let's get back to it. She loves teasing, particularly when it is aimed at the series' protagonist, Kraft Lawrence. Her playfulness often lightens the atmosphere and shows her affection for those she interacts with. Her mischief is always in good spirit, adding a layer of fun to her interactions. Beyond her teasing, Holo is deeply loyal and protective, particularly towards Lawrence, to whom she becomes very attached. She doesn't hesitate to take risks for those she cares about, and she deeply empathizes with their struggles, demonstrating her profound emotional connections. Holo experiences a broad spectrum of emotions, from joy and exuberance to contemplation and melancholy. Her emotional depth, shaped by centuries of experiences, adds relatability and complexity to her character. Valuing her freedom, Holo insists on making her own choices. While she values the support of others like Lawrence, she confidently expresses her views and follows her own path, showcasing her strong-willed nature. Her personality combines ancient wisdom with youthful curiosity, strength with vulnerability, and independence with deep connections, making her a compelling and cherished character. Pasloe is a quaint farming village where Holo and Lawrence's journey begins. Established centuries ago, the village welcomed Holo after a young villager enlisted her help to enhance the wheat harvest. This partnership led Holo to remain in the village for many years. Over the centuries, the village's growth and identity intertwined with their perception and attempted understanding of Holo. Although Holo never saw herself as a deity, she often cautioned the early residents of Pasloe that successful harvests require the soil to rest and replenish its nutrients. However, the villagers dismissed her warnings, viewing her as a capricious harvest deity who needed to be feared and appeased. Consequently, when poor harvests occurred every few years due to soil depletion, they blamed Holo, coining the phrase, "The wolf ate the wheat." In later generations, while people were aware of Holo, and she occasionally made public appearances, they remained fearful and kept their distance. Feeling hurt by their reaction, Holo gradually withdrew from public view over the centuries, and her existence faded into local folklore and myth. At the time of the story, Pasloe is still viewed as a pagan community by the church because of its historical worship of Holo. Because of this, a nearby monastery keeps a watchful eye on the village, especially intensifying its surveillance during the autumn harvest when the village holds its supposedly pagan festivities. In reality, while the legend of Holo continues to be celebrated during the annual harvest festival and is woven into local traditions, the villagers see her more as a quaint superstition, or at worst, a relic that conflicts with modern progress. In this episode, we meet Kraft Lawrence, the main character of Spice and Wolf. At the beginning of the series, Lawrence is a 25-year-old traveling merchant who journeys from town to town, engaging in buying, selling, and trading goods to earn a profit. His ultimate goal is to save enough money to open his own shop in a town. One night, while conducting business in Pasloe, he discovers Holo hiding in the back of his cart. He agrees to help her return to her northern homeland of Yoitsu. But in saying this much, I might be getting a bit ahead of myself. I should be describing the beginning of episode 1, but first I really want to add this bit of context. Yoitsu is nestled among the mountains in the far north and is the homeland of Holo and other wolves, like her. This region experiences brief summers and extended winters. It is known for its enormous trees, large enough for Holo to rest on them while in her giant wolf form. As previously mentioned, Lawrence is a traveling merchant. The story begins with him nearing the town of Pasloe, his wagon loaded with marten furs and winter wheat. He is arriving from Yorens, alternatively known as Yorensu, a remote mountain village located a day's journey to the east of Pasloe by horse-drawn wagon. A knight from a nearby monastery warns Lawrence about potential pagan activities in Pasloe. However, Lawrence, already familiar with the town's harvest festival traditions, is unfazed by this warning. He arrives just in time to reunite with Chloe, his former student, who has been selected to represent Holo, the legendary wolf deity, during the festival. Chloe, who first appeared as an anime-exclusive character, differs from her counterpart Yare in the light novels and manga. Chloe is a strikingly beautiful young woman with mahogany hair, violet eyes, and a voluptuous figure, her pale skin reflecting her time working in the wheat fields, despite wearing a white dress and a dark blue coat. She is known for her ambition, her forward-thinking, determination, and talent, traits that point to a promising future as a merchant. This raises questions about how jealousy might influence her future interactions with Holo and Lawrence. Although Chloe admires Lawrence as a mentor, friend, and the focus of her unrequited love, her ambition to become his business partner is hindered by her professional facade, which conceals her true emotions. She views Holo as an outdated deity, a belief that underscores her progressive mindset, a mindset that is typical of someone from Pasloe. This intricate mix of relationships and beliefs certainly makes her an interesting character. After interacting with Chloe, Lawrence converses with the village chief, who talks about prosperity for Pasloe in the near future. While setting up camp in the fields near the village, Lawrence is startled to find a girl without clothes in his wagon, who claims that she is Holo, the wolf deity of harvest. Doubtful, he requests proof, prompting the girl to briefly transform into her wolf form before vanishing. Disturbed by this encounter, Lawrence decides to go back to Pasloe for the evening. Once there, Chloe invites him out for drinks, where she proposes becoming his business partner, before subtly expressing her romantic interest. However, Lawrence declines her offer, citing her youth as a reason she shouldn't make such a risky decision. Later that night, Lawrence encounters Holo once more and discovers that she fled Pasloe so that she might return to her homeland of Yoitsu. Cautiously, Lawrence agrees to let her join him on his travels. He hopes that her presence will bring him good fortune on the road ahead. And that's it for now. A little bit of history on the series, and a recap of episode 1. Stay tuned for next time. And please, take care.